Watchtower tries to suggest wrongly that there was a governing body arrangement in place in Bible times. So when it's talking about the Bible governing body being not perfect, it's implying that the same can be true of the modern day governing body. The Watchtower publications for many years have been describing the governing body, or the faithful slave, which essentially now means the same thing. They've frequently described them as being imperfect, capable of making mistakes. So when I read this Watchtower magazine, I wasn't thinking, oh, this is something new. I was just thinking, how clever, how devious, because by writing what they've written there, by saying, oh, well, we're not inspired and we're not infallible, what they're doing is they're feigning humility. So that a Jehovah's Witness reading this will be thinking, oh, what humble leaders we have, because they're acknowledging that there's nothing special about them. They don't have a direct link with the Almighty. They're just doing their best as imperfect men to make sense of things for us. If the governing body really wants to tell us that they are imperfect, they need to start acting accordingly. Because an imperfect person who recognizes their mistakes doesn't punish people who disagree with them. They've continually had to revise their teachings through history, not because of inspiration from heaven, but because as time has progressed, those teachings have been manifestly proven to be false. We've had loads of ideas about the Bible since 1919. Since 1919, when an invisible Jesus invisibly chose the leaders of the Watchtower Society to be his faithful slave. Convenient that it was invisible, isn't it? Because then there's no proof either way that it happened. But since this invisible thing happened in 1919, look at how many teachings we've had. Look at how much material we've written about the Bible. There's no way that that could have happened without Holy Spirit. The logic just doesn't stand up. I'm sorry, any organisation that aspires to be Christian can spew out teachings that it later has to go back and clarify and correct and change. That says nothing about Holy Spirit or any kind of divine intervention. Look at how many Jehovah's Witnesses there are. There are 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses. That number is sort of increasing very slowly. It's actually reducing in some countries, but let's forget about that. On the whole, by about 1 or 2% per year, it's increasing. Therefore angels, therefore Holy Spirit, therefore superhuman assistance. If you are the sort of person who considers that evidence that the governing body are representatives of Jehovah and Jesus,
you can be assured that you will receive much fulfillment and many blessings from Jehovah.